From the outside, it can seem like a losing battle along Hennepin Avenue.
That's a crack pipe.
By day, a shell game of narcotics, an entire ecosystem of users, dealers, and middlemen hiding in plain sight.
Windows will deploy unless we're already out on the street.
Sergeant Darcy Klund, a former homicide detective, leads the downtown community response team. Using video surveillance from 100 cameras, they zoom in to capture the sleight of hand transactions.
And then here's the handoff.
And it's not just weed. Crack cocaine is back. The dealers hiding it in their mouths and spitting it out for sale. Even if they do catch the transaction right there on videotape, making the collar can still be tough. In a case like this, they can swallow the rock of crack cocaine, get rid of the weed, and then they're essentially back to square one.
We try to set the tempo for what happens at night by just creating that high visibility presence.
This y'all downtown, like, you know, it's popping. I can come to the clubs, I go to the bar.
By night, the open-air drug market takes on a frenetic vibe, and the police presence does little to kill the mood. Anthony Jackson's a former member of the Blood street gang.
We gotta, show some love to these people and let them know that there's a better way. There's job opportunities, resources that they can better their lives and get away from all of this madness on the streets.
This 12-block stretch of Hennepin includes the theater district, but crime stats show the hot zone of activity is between 4th and 6th Street, outside the back door of the 1st Police Precinct.
I call that the heartbeat of the criminal activity that has spanned up and down Hennepin Avenue.
Inspector Eddie Frizzell says his cops are focused like a laser on behavior, not race or stereotypes.
There is an element down here at this point, regardless of color, that are problematic, they're aggressive, they're making individuals feel unsafe. Nothing gets me more upset than when I see an elderly couple have to grab each other and hold them close together while they walk down a particular area of Hennepin Avenue. That should never happen.
If the inspector sounds a bit defensive, there's good reason. A year ago, an MPD undercover sting on Hennepin led to the arrest of 47 people for small quantities of marijuana. 46 out of 47 were black. Mayor Jacob Fry ordered the chief to halt the low-level pot stings, the chief issuing a call to action that's gone largely unanswered.
I never want the MPD to contribute to a sense of hopelessness to our community, but I also know that the police cannot solve some of these issues alone.
What's changed is that we don't have the city council and politicians' support for street enforcement of crimes.
Attorney Joe Tamburino believes City Hall is sending a false message. The Hennepin Avenue has a social problem, not a criminal one.
You could put 100 social workers on this avenue right now, you're not going to stop robberies. You put about a dozen police officers walking the streets, that's going to be a huge deterrent effect.
It can be unsettling, especially if you don't have a lot of experience around people who are different from you.
Do you think some of that is white fragility?
I do.
Councilman Steve Fletcher has criticized the MPD for racial profiling. His downtown ward includes Hennepin, and he believes perception also plays a role.
We get into a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Where if we say downtown's really dangerous, then a bunch of people don't come downtown for really good activity. And then there's no eyes on the street, and then it feels like a very safe place to commit crimes, and you can end up in a very vicious downward cycle. We're not in that right now.
But that may be changing. Violent crime in West Downtown is up 22% so far this year, with 156 cases, including 2 homicides, 22 rapes, 83 robberies, and 58 aggravated assaults. And where there is money from drugs, you will find weapons. 39 guns recovered so far. But police tactics are also shifting, using surveillance to build felony-level cases against a core group of usual suspects. Like this guy walking his bike, Robert Hall III. He's got a rap sheet going back more than 20 years for drugs, theft, and assault. Hennepin Avenue is his office, and police will watch until he appears to make a deal.
Hi, Robert. How are you?
Then move in.
This is harassment. They're harassing her.
Hall's got a knife, but no drugs. He'll be arrested for loitering and drug paraphernalia. The woman he's with has crack in her pocket.
Hands behind your back for me. Just want to let you know, you do have a warrant.
Cops on the street have also changed their tone. Less confrontational, more human.
You hook you up with some water?
Passing out water on hot days and connecting people with social services for the homeless.
You got to give them, if you don't give us a place to go.
So when it's data driven and police are targeting people based on data and behavior,
Yeah.
you're good with that.
If we're targeting somebody who's committed 5 crimes downtown, that's at that point a totally appropriate way of thinking about policing. If we're stopping people because they look like the kind of person we think might commit crimes, that's likely profiling.
I'm not too old to not understand the game, so to speak, but they respect when game recognizes game. And if you're out there speaking with them and finding out some of them are here just because the excitement has drawn them here. However, I'm looking for the wolves that are hiding in sheep's clothing. They're the ones that find the masses of folks and then they infiltrate that for their own means.
Tom Light, Fox 9.